Hello, this is Greg from SharePoint Maven, and in this tutorial I will show you different ways to organize templates, file templates in SharePoint Online. As I work with clients and help them build, transition to SharePoint and build internet portals in SharePoint, one of the, common requirements is, essentially a place to store and organize templates. This could be different, company templates, things like, maybe agendas and budget documents and some mileage reimbursement forms, stuff like that. Essentially, files that that have common, I guess, design convention, naming convention, and something that employees must essentially fill out and complete. Now, in this tutorial, I will show you a total of 3 unique ways to organize templates. They are all kind of different methods. They vary in terms of how they work. They vary in terms of complexity. But let me demonstrate those 3, and then you will pick the one that works best for your organization. The first method I'm going to describe to you is through a dedicated site or library that will store those templates. The most important thing about this particular method is the fact that this should be a read-only library or a site. Let me explain. So look, here is a site. I have this HR team site. It's a collaboration type of site. So obviously, if we organize our templates in here somewhere on the site, it's not going to work. Why? Because whoever is the member of the site, they can easily, edit the template and, tweak it and change it. We don't want this. In our case, we essentially want this the templates to be read only. We want maybe to collaboration still occur on the library, but the templates themselves, they need to be read only. So we can probably achieve this requirement on this particular site, but I always recommend creating a dedicated site just for templates, forms and templates. And this way you can be, assured, this is the only way to be rest assured that this site will be read-only and off limits to everyone else. So let's do just that. I'm going to navigate to SharePoint start page. And I'm going to create a new site from here. Now, in case if you do not have this capability, you would need to do this from the admin center, but I'll just show you this particular technique. So you go ahead and create a site. I think a communication site makes sense here. Remember, a communication site is the type of site you use for one-way information sharing. That's exactly what we want in our case. And in our case, it's just going to be a site with some libraries for templates and forms. So let's do the basic design. And yeah, we are going to call it just like that, company forms and templates. All right, perfect. And yeah, we can tweak the URL. Let's not worry about it. And let's go ahead and create a site. Now, I'm not going to worry about the design of the site, but I do want to show you the most important piece of it, the security and permissions piece. So I'm going to navigate to the document library in here. Obviously, you can create a new library called templates, all right, if you want a unique name and so on, but we already have one. And I'm going to go ahead and upload some documents in here. So I can either drag and drop them, but you know what, let me upload. And I think I have a few documents in here. Let's just say all of this are like different templates that I have within my organization. Perfect. So the documents are sitting in this library, on this site and this library. But here's the most important piece. We need to make sure that this site is read-only to everyone else. So the most important piece here is security and permissions, site access. So to set this up, we click the gear icon, site permissions, and you're going to see 3 security groups: visitors, members, and owners. Visitors are read-only people. Members are add, edit, delete people. When I say add, edit, delete, I mean content. all right, not the whole site. And owners is obviously, somebody who can tweak the various settings, manage permissions, as well as delete a site. So here's a use case. Let's just say, you know what, I need my colleague Mary to help me with those templates, right? So we can change them once in a while. So I'm going to make Mary a member, and I'm going to make everyone else a visitor. So I'm going to click share, and I'm going to invite Mary, and Mary will have edit permission level. So this puts Mary into the members group. So far, so good. Now we need everyone else. Remember, this is the most important piece. We don't want the templates to change, all right? So we kind of have to have unique permissions here. And we are going to invite everyone else. Click share site, and you just literally type in everyone. Everyone, and this group will pop up, everyone except external users, and essentially it includes everyone with the exception of guests, all right, anyone outside of your organization. That's exactly what we want. So anyone who has your company's Microsoft 365 account, they are part of the group. And that's it. We obviously will leave them at read, right? And that's about it. That's about it. We just set up permissions. So the beauty about this method is that, first of all, you have a dedicated place. There are a couple of reasons why we created a separate site. First of all, again, a dedicated place for our forms and templates, right? They're not mixed up or reside on some other site. But the most important piece also is security and permissions, right? If we were to create a separate library for templates on one of these other sites, we would need to break inheritance and create unique permissions for that library, right? Because again, we don't want this templates library to be editable, all right? We want it to be read-only. So yeah, once that was another reason why we created a separate site, because once we did, we just set it up as read-only for everyone. So when users click on this, template, obviously I have edit privileges here, but when regular users click on the template, they will not be able to edit, right? Essentially, it will be view only. They will be prompted to, essentially, they will need to download the file and modify it and, save it somewhere else. But this particular site will be off limits. Let me now describe the second option to organize templates. Now, with the first option, of course, we created a separate site, and that's where users have to navigate to access and download the template. Well, here's another option for you. Let's just say we have a site already, and it's a collaboration type of site. In this case, this site is used by board of directors. This is where they collaborate on, documents and modified documents and other types of content. And let's just say I want all of the board of directors, right, to pretty much follow the same templates, right? Maybe there is a template for agenda and meeting minutes and budget documents, right? We want everyone to be consistent. Yet we don't want them to go anywhere else outside of the site, right? We don't want them to go to any other site to download those templates. We want it to be available right on this site. So let me show you a cool trick on how to achieve this. So you would need to navigate to the document library where they collaborate on documents, just like that. All right. So we have, let's say, a bunch of files and folders in here. And under the new button in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see all these different out-of-the-box templates. I can actually start a new document right from here. If I'm a board member and I want to, maybe start an agenda or meeting minutes document, I can actually do it right from here. And let me refresh my screen. Here it is, right? I just created a document. But we want, obviously it's a blank document. I want the template, right? We want the users to fill out a template of some sort. So let me show you how that works. New, and look at this. At the bottom, you get to see add a template option. So what you can do in addition to all of this, templates that we have, we can add our own templates. And we click add template. and you can add a template. Let's just say this time I want everyone to be consistent and utilize this template for budgets. All right, everyone needs to fill out the same, Excel document for budgets that is already pre-formatted with tables and some information. So I'm going to click open, and it says uploaded budget Excel document. Let me show you where it is. You're not going to find it in here. If you click new, look at this. It appears over here. So now if I need to start a new budget document, instead of Excel, that I click here, or maybe Excel I work on my desktop, I can literally just do this, new budget, and I can tweak the essentially the document. Let me show you. So I'm going to say new budget. It opens up an Excel document just like that. I mean, my Excel is not really formatted, but let's pretend it is. But let's pretend this is the template, and now I can make whatever changes I want to make to this particular document. And what's really cool about this, and let me save it now. To save it, I probably want to give it some name. Let's just say, it's going to be a budget document, just like that. Okay. And I'm going to click enter. And let's close it. We're done. Let's see what just happened. Let me refresh my screen. Look at this. So when I click this new budget, all right, it did not override the template. It did not, when I made the changes, it did not override the template. Instead, it pretty much dropped the file in here. And now if I click on this document, here it is. You see the changes I made. So let me show you something else relevant to this. Let's say you have a few templates. It can get pretty crowded in here. You can actually edit this menu. So you know what? First of all, you can maybe push it up a little bit. All right, just like that. And you know what? I don't need any of this. Maybe, you know what? I just want them to fill out my, my templates. So let's actually, maybe do something like this. Look, it's going to be nice and clean now. So if I want my users to start off with a template, again, they just click, the template, fill it out, give it a name. All right, let's pretend we did this. We don't even need to assign it an alternate name. We're going to close it, and it is going to save it in here. Obviously, you can rename it accordingly. So this particular option is quite different from option number one, because with option number one, we had this dedicated site, and maybe it's a good option for, some large organizations, right, where you would really want to organize all these different templates and forms you have and have a dedicated place. But if, let's say, this was a project site, right, and you want everyone to be on a project to be consistent and utilize, different templates established by your project management office, this is definitely a great feature, functionality to use. It pretty much embeds the templates right inside of the library. And the beauty about this, you don't need to do anything else in terms of permissions, right? Whoever has access to the site, if they're members, owners, doesn't really matter. They will be able to collaborate on the documents, yet they will not be able to, modify, accidentally override this template. All right. So by the way, if you want to edit the template, somehow you can actually click that edit button and you can modify it. So if let's say you want the template to look a little bit different, you just do what I just did. You just click this edit button and make adjustments. And now all the documents that are going to be created going forward will utilize this new template that I just made changes to. All right. Now let me show you the final and third option that we have available. In my opinion, this is the best option. And let me first show you how it works, and then I will explain how to set it up. So the idea behind this third option is that you don't, essentially create a template and store it somewhere on a site, or you don't even, start the template from, this new window, a new drop down. The reality is most documents, I guess, are created by users when they, start Word, Excel, or PowerPoint application right on their computers, right? So usually users start those documents on their PCs and then they end up saving them to a SharePoint site somewhere. However, how do we assure that the users open up and essentially utilize the template when they just create a, let's say, new PowerPoint presentation? Well, let me first show you. So this particular method, you would need to implement something called Organization Assets Library. And I have already completed this. So let me show you how it works, and then I'll show you briefly on how to set it up. So let's pretend I'm creating a new PowerPoint for my organization. It could be a Word document or Excel, but I think PowerPoint is much more relevant. And when I click New, all right, so obviously there are all these different templates I could use, but look at this. In addition to Microsoft tab, essentially this is like Microsoft PowerPoint templates, I have another tab for my organization. And if I click here, I'm going to see a list of the various templates provided by my organization. Now, I only have one, but it could be different templates for different use cases. And here we go. You just click on it. Look at this. This is actually a template branded, for my organization. And now I can go ahead and create my presentation, and it's going to be based on the template. Obviously, it could be, different, types of slides. And in here, I just have one, but I wanted to show you that you are getting your company branded, essentially, template right within the the application itself. And obviously, once I'm done, I use the company template, so follow the best practices, and then I can obviously save this document to SharePoint or OneDrive. Now, how did I achieve this functionality? Let me explain. As I mentioned, in order for this to work, you need to set up something called Organization Assets Library. And I actually published a blog post. I'm not going to carry you through instructions on how to set it up because I already have, detailed them in this particular article, so you can just find it on my blog. But one of the reasons I'm not covering it in this video is because you would need to be an admin to set this up, and you would need to run some PowerShell. Unfortunately, it's not something that you would do kind of through the user interface. But the way it works is you pretty much create a dedicated site and upload SharePoint site that is, and upload those templates, those assets in there, and then you register this. Essentially, you register this site as the site for Office templates. All right, so you can actually see an example. I mean, I uploaded some documents into my, library, into my site, marketing site, and I registered this library as the library for templates. And once you do that, you're going to get the experience I just demonstrated. Essentially, it will take some time, but as soon as you register the the specific site and library as the placeholder for your templates. At that point, once you create new documents, once users create new documents through Word, Excel, PowerPoint, they will pretty much right away get access to all the company templates. I will make sure to include this particular, blog post in the description of this video, so you will be able to access it and read the instructions. But this particular option is obviously super powerful because once again you standardize. So first of all, it's global, right? It's like option number one. It's global. So whatever you set up for your site and library, this org assets library is accessible pretty much by anyone within your organization. Doesn't really matter which site you will end up storing those documents at the end. The minute you essentially start the application and click that new button, you will be presented with your company templates. And obviously, another big benefit that, unlike option two, remember with this option two, right? The templates, you had to upload them on a library by library basis, right? If you have even multiple libraries on the same site, guess what? You would need to upload those templates to every single library. Once again, this third option is global. No matter where you start, the documents, you at the end of the day, essentially you open up those templates in read-only mode, and you can save them anywhere you want. So that's all I really wanted to show you in this particular tutorial. These are the three distinct options. Hopefully, one of them, at least one of them, resonates with you and something you will implement within your organization. As I mentioned in the description of this video, first of all, I have written an article on the same exact topic where I cover all these three options, so I'll definitely include a link to that. And I will also include a link to the org assets library post, so you can read or provide your IT with instructions on PowerShell on how to set it up. But for now, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something new. As always, happy to see you on my blog, SharePointMaven.com, as well as my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Goodbye.